Good morning, Vande Matram, welcome all of you. The topic we are going to discuss right now is on reading of books as help in sadhana. Reading of books is as help in sadhana. Naturally, there is no doubt of it. You have to read. But I am speaking of these books means books written by Mother and Sri Aurobindo, Mother and the Master. Those books are helpful. Reading Sri Aurobindo is absolutely a help in sadhana. And how to read it, we have had a couple of classes in the previous times. We had before sometimes. Now itself it is a continuation. We are going a little bit ahead to know to read how to read Sri Aurobindo. And of course, this reading will help you in the process of sadhana. Definitely, it has got a greater need and a greater help. We can read here. Reading good books can be of help in the early material stage. Already we have quoted, I think you will be remembering the quote, I quoted from Francis Bacon. Some books are to be read, some to be digested, chewed, some to be digested. I will quote it again. Some books are to be read, some to be chewed, and the second, some to be digested. You have to digest them up. And here it is very interesting topic. Everything we can chew, everything we can digest. That is in the ordinary. That's what Mother quotes in the mental stage. Mental stage, it is helpful because people have time. They don't know what they have to do. They are in the profession of teaching or they are working in the research and development. The job is over. Now itself they are getting bored. Even some people are there, they are having the query of a higher truth. Naturally, they are interested to read on. So this reading of books can be help in the early mental stage. Naturally, they want to know how to utilize the time. They are busy in utilizing their time properly. They prepare the mind, put the right atmosphere, because reading will help you. In the early stage or in the middle stage, you will be running like anything, mad, like you will be running and you will be floating here and there. That is not the issue. But a time will come when you have to go through. You have to because there itself you don't have much to do, much to fly about, much to run about, because everything is gone. You are retired. One time will come when your body, your mind will not be permitting to move here and there as you are in the early stage of life. Even of course in the early stage of life, for one reason or another, people are getting distorted. But thing is that you have initially it is a mental stage. Help in the mental stage, reading books. They prepare the mind and put it in the right atmosphere. Put it in the right atmosphere. Can even if one very sensitive thing, some glimpses of the realization on the mental plane. Not only this is for the mental phenomenon, you can find some glimpse also. It is coming to everybody, but thing is that people who are prepared, who are saved, who are little bit conscious, they feel the glimpse. Otherwise, simply time there. Some people are there, not some people, many are there. They pass time like anything. Afterwards, the utility diminishes. Initially, they get the result. To some extent, they get the glimpse, even if it may be a faint glimpse. Also, you can't stress upon. You have to find every knowledge and experience in yourself. To read is good, to learn is good, but not sufficient. You have to understand. The understanding person when comes very small people, very small number of people, very little number of people, they come and try to understand. That is the problem with them. But the second phase, other course, to understand is better. Initially, to learn is good, not sufficient in the second phase, second part. And third part, you have to understand. But some people read, they exercise their brain, they try to understand, but many times they fail. And most of the people, okay, I have to read, they are not interested to read at all. Even if they are reading, they claim I am not able to understand, so they leave. But thing is that for the steel course, you have to understand. And the second, after understanding, to understand, you have understood, yes, it is better. It is better than learning. But problem, what is the problem here? Problem is that it is not sufficient. You have to act. You have to practice in life what you have learned. The theory to be practiced, that is what very interesting thing. And everything, whatever you have learned, whatever you have understood, that you can't utilize in your life wholeheartedly and fully. So also that also mother knows. A drop of practice is better than an ocean of theories, advices, and good resolutions. There are there, an ocean. How many oceans you can find? Some discovered, some undiscovered. Because our science, our knowledge, it has crossed this way. And even if some sadhus, they are having some glimpses of the higher track, they are unable to trace upon where really you stand. That is the problem. That is the lacuna here. That is the real trouble is starts there. So you can't practice. There is something like an ocean, theories, advices, and good resolutions. But where really you are standing, you have to practice it. Then you will be fearful. How shall I practice? How shall I know? So and so. Then mother quotes a drop of practice. Practice only one drop. Forget about this ocean. Theory, advices, good resolution. It is there. Books are there. Everybody, every time, every moment it is written. Something you can find it will be touching the Everest peak also. It is there. But forget. What you have to do? You have to do only one thing. You have to do one drop of practice. So sometimes here otherwise afterwards the utility diminishes. You get the glimpse. You understand something. You learn something. You understand something. You get the faint glimpse also. But afterwards it gets diminishes. Does not stay for a long time. Diminishes. So what we have to do? You have to find every knowledge and experience in yourself. So many things, whatever you find in books, library, they are written. But many things are there, unwritten. Something you have experienced in life, a lot of things are there, unexperienced. Something is there, you find they are manifested, but many are there still to be manifested, yet unmanifested. But thing is that hard music is sweet, those unheard are sweeter. Those unheard, those unexplored, those untrodden, those unmanifested. For that region, arena, you have to cross. That is what is your time. That is what is your business. For that actually you are doing the sadhana here. That is what is required. Then next step forward we'll go. It depends on the nature of the books. Initially mother quoted about the books. About the books. And in the next page, nature of books. Some to be read, some to be chewed, some to be digested. Many books are there, everything is written. You know, even most of the things are written. The poet does not know, the writer does not know where really he has to come, he has to finish. Where he will finish, he does not know. Singer comes and sings without knowing. Is it really helpful in satisfying the audience? That he does not know. Simply sing, you will be singing, or he or she will be singing, and this audience will be sleeping or moving here and there. Still then that will not stop. For that you go. Initially you have learned, you have come to read. That is a very good question in you. But thing is that mother comes to the second part. It depends upon the nature of books. Books are there. Nature, if really you are that much particular in reading, it depends upon the nature of books. Philosophy makes mind subtle in certain directions. Whatever you are reading, nature of books, initially mother quotes about the philosophy. Philosophy makes the mind subtle in certain directions. Certain directions. Yeah. End of everything is philosophy. PhD, DL, DSc, DLit, Doctor in Philosophy, Doctor in Science, Philosophy. and PhD, philosophy, all ends in philosophy. Philosophy makes mind subtle. Mind becomes subtle with philosophy in certain directions, or ought to do so. It has to. You are reading philosophy, yes. End of everything is the end of every faculty. That is your study topic. That comes the philosophy. It should make the mind subtle. It ought to do the only harm it can do. That is the blessings of philosophy. That is the utility of philosophy. That is the goodness of philosophy. But only harm is also there. The utility, the blessing is there. It makes the mind subtle in a certain direction. But the harm is that it can do if the mind begins clinging to the ideas instead of going forward to direct experiences. After reading, you have to gather some experience. First thing is that philosophy, about the philosophy, you can be very practical in knowing. Philosophy makes the mind subtle. It has to do, it ought to do. But it has also the negative side. Black side is also there. Black side is what, how, where it is a harmful. That also another course. Harm is that if the mind begins clinging to the ideas, whatever it has read, whatever is been printed and written in philosophy, mind clings to that, does not want to go further. Instead of going forward to direct the experience. That's what initially we have quoted. To read is good, to learn is good, but not sufficient. You have to understand, one has to understand. To understand is better, but not sufficient. You have to act. Here it has like that example of philosophy you get. It has to make your mind subtle. It has to, it ought to, it has got the duty, it will do. But it has got also black side, that is harmful. In this way, you can harmful. If the mind begins clinging to the ideas, simply on the theory, instead of going forward to direct experience. If it is not done properly, naturally this reading will hamper. This reading will hamper, and moreover you will can find some lacuna here, as the mother has directly quoted and experienced and also so. For that actually you have to be very practical and very punctual in understanding. Initially, mother has quoted and clarified about books. Then on nature of books, how really we want to go. Then the final phase, it is a continuous process, nothing final. In our discussion here in the final phase, we are going for this session. Intelligence does not depend upon the amount of one has read, because sky is no limit. Of course, people have not gone. You have gone 2-3 steps ahead. They have not gone through anything. You have read a couple of your degree. You have got couple of good books or something, philosophy or some science you have read. You have gone to some extent. That's what mother quotes. Intelligence does not depend on amount one has read, how much he has read, how long he has gone, how long he has practiced. It does not. It is the quality of mind. Practiced, I have told, not how long he has gone, amount he has read. That it does not depend upon the amount he has read. It is a quality of mind. So what we have to do? Study only gives it material for its work, as life also does. Give some material. You have got the material, yes. This material you have to go and you have to fabricate and you have to create your home. That is what. That beautiful topic. I will take beautiful one. I will try to quote it again. I will explain it again. Intelligence does not depend upon the amount one has read. It is a quality of the mind. He has read, he has gone through, he has learned something. Study only gives it material for its work as life it does. That is what the blessings of the reading. That will be helpful in sadhana. Thank you for now. We'll see it in the next class. Thank you.